Here's to leaving well enough alone, counting your blessings on the hot hood of an El Camino, and cuts so deep the scars have to clear their schedules. Costello sat pondering three choices. Do nothing, take this newly learned intelligence about himself to the police, or do nothing until he decides to go with Plan B. He was the least bit concerned by anyone else spotting him in the surveillance video. Truth was, he didn't see much of the expo in Seattle. He convinced Ben he was ready to venture outside of his LA apartment, but he hadn't convinced himself. He spent his time in Seattle inside dive bars, liquor stores, and his hotel room. Seattle was only an extension of Jenna, and unfortunately his drinking. He never found the wherewithal to go mingle with his peers, so not a single person would recognize him in the video. This was between Costello and Costello alone. As each day passed, he encountered a newfound inquisitiveness. He would never hurt a soul, but he couldn't escape the fact, now that he knows the day of the murders. He recalled waking up in the hotel room where his shorts and someone else's hooded sweatshirt had someone's blood on them. Yet another coincidence, but now a bit more troubling. It wasn't the first time he'd woken up with blood on his clothes or person. However, it was typically his own. He canvassed his entire body that Seattle morning. It wasn't his blood. What was he to do, though? He checked the inside of the Jeep he rented. He checked his hotel room. He read every Seattle news outlet and checked with Seattle Police Department for any accidents or incidents in the vicinity of where he'd any recollection of his whereabouts. He wasn't much of an investigator, but he tried anything and everything he could to find an explanation for the blood. He came up empty. Tal and Spencer just happened to sadly rest mortally in the chest for several days, long after Costello packed up, returned the Jeep, and suffered through the flight home. The flight where he rummaged through every corner of his conscience, looking for that one corner where the sociopath wasn't only concerned about its own private salvation,